Hey, good morning folks, it's William here again. So today very excited because we are going to review a car that has been in my target, okay, for the past year, and hopefully I'm able to actually get this car in the coming year, right? So I want to give a big shout out to my friend Victor, okay, for being kind enough to lend us his car, not knowing whether we will actually trash his car or not, but I promise, okay, we will not trash your car. We'll take care of it like it's my baby. All right, so what car are we talking about today? Okay, so this is the car we actually got from our friend, okay, for us to review, which is actually the Toyota 86. Now this is the 2012 model, okay. The facelift is actually in 2017, but still, I think it actually still looks very good. In fact, this is actually the model that I will be actually aiming for when I look for the car next year. So 86, a very legendary name in the motorsports industry, mainly because its spiritual predecessor, okay, the Toyota AE86, right, was made so famous by this Japanese anime manga as well, which is the Initial D, okay, which talks about, I think, a boy, delivering tofu, and then he made the car and drift on the mountain passes and all that. Okay, you can watch it yourself. But for many years, Toyota stopped producing affordable sports car, and they revived the project, okay, with the Toyota 86 being the first one for a long time now. So here's the famous 86 logo. So the logo has a lot of meaning to it, okay. So if you look at these, actually it means they use it's a representation of the boxer engine. Yes, so this vehicle actually uses a boxer engine, which was developed by Subaru and used in this car. Okay, so Subaru remains still one of the only two brands in the world right now to still stay very loyal to the boxer engine. So of course this 86 also represents something like a car drifting sideways. All this is to pay homage to the legend or the cult status of the Toyota 86, right? So the vehicle comes with for this particular vehicle, it comes with a 17-inch rim. Okay, this is actually the stock rims. I believe this is not the stock tires, of course. Okay, my friend has already changed it to something whatever that he likes. Okay, so this, I believe, is the HID headlamps, okay, and there's no any body kit on this particular vehicle. All right, which for me looks pretty good. I wouldn't want something that is a body kit, to make the vehicle lower than it already is, okay, for the sake of practicality. Okay, let's have a look at the side profile. One of the reasons why I want this car so much is because of the shape. It's just so beautiful. The coupe styling of this vehicle, absolutely love it. Okay, so this is the first in my checklist. The next car after this will be the Cayman S. Okay, either it's a 987 or 718. Okay, so I've been driving cars with good handling, low power, so same goes with this. Similar to this vehicle, a lot of people in the world is commenting that this vehicle has very low power output. It's actually producing around 200 PS of output, okay, but I don't think it's actually a big problem, because there's a saying that this car is not built to go fast straight, it's built to go fast sideways, just like the AE86. Okay, that's the legend there. So being a car that is made of Toyota, there's a lot of cues that talk about they have a lot of cues, like this thing forms a T, okay, something like a T, so to represent something like Toyota. That's what I understand. Okay, so dual exhaust pipe. All right, this tail lamp is not exactly something that I fancy a lot. If I were to get one, I would actually swap out the tail light for something nicer. Okay, so if you look over here, there's two very prominent bubble. Okay, so this is actually created so that the people who actually go to the track, they want to put on their safety helmets, they have the headroom to do so. Okay, so yep, so let's check out the engine. Right, so let's see where's the engine. That's not it. Okay, so there it is. Okay, now when they actually created this or they actually engineered this vehicle, one of the very important thing that they were looking at is actually to have something that is fun to drive. Okay, so how do they do that? Is by, okay, I get Zach to help me open up this thing. Okay, right, so one thing you will notice, first thing, is how low the engine is actually sitting in the engine bay. Usually you will get your covers quite high over here. All right, this engine is actually sitting very low, so that actually makes a very low center of gravity for the vehicle. Okay, and we can see actually the engine is seated pretty close to your axle line over here. Okay, so that's the boxer engine with the D4S, which is actually one of the most advanced injection technology from Toyota at that time. They very kindly, okay, share that with Subaru to create something that is powerful enough within their target, and at the same time comply to all the emission regulation required to make this vehicle viable for the production and also to sell in multiple countries in the world. And well, apart from the Toyota and Subaru logo that you see here, actually we do spot something else as well. It's from Mitsubishi Motors. Okay, that is actually rather odd. I do not know what part this is, but yep, seems like all the brands maybe, okay, is working together to build this car. I'm not sure whether that is actually a stock thing or not. Yep, so let's go and check out the boot now and why I think this vehicle is so practical. Okay, let's open up the boot and have a look. I already popped it up from the driver's seat there. Okay, so why do I say that this vehicle is rather practical? Now, normally in your sports car you will have extremely little boot or or trunk space or something like that, but look at this, it's actually pretty spacious. So I suppose you can even fit a large luggage, where actually when, like example, when you go traveling, yeah, you can fit a large luggage here, no problem for the 4 or 5 days trip. Yeah, no issue at all. Pretty spacious over here. They even have a spare tire inside. All right, actually it will be great, maybe they can even increase the room if they don't have that spare tire over there. Okay, so now apart from that, here's the other reason why this car I deem it as one of the more practical car. Look at that, they have seats at the back. Okay, let me try to put this out of the way so you can see it slightly better. Yep. Okay, so look at that. If you are a family with a little bit of kids, small kids like maybe 4 or 5 years old, they can fit comfortably inside there. Of course, you don't expect this when you I mean, let's say you have some adults, it won't be very comfortable. Look at the leg room over there. Okay, there's very little leg room. For kids, totally no issue. All right, there's plenty of leg room for the front passenger side over there. Okay, so yep. So the door also comes with actually a frameless side window. Okay, something you don't get very often in any cars. All right, moving in, let's have a look at the inside of the vehicle. Let me just get the seat right, a bit more space for myself. Okay, right, so everything inside is actually very basic. You don't expect high quality switch, I mean like in a luxury car kind of switch gears. No, there's nothing like that. But however, everything is functional. Okay, the buttons are solid. Okay, but no looseness there. Okay, but nothing like extremely luxurious over here. So this vehicle is actually really meant for just practicality, I mean functionality, yeah, so you don't expect anything super nice or hard plastics all around to keep the vehicle weight down. All right, so but that's not a very big concern for me. This actually vehicle is actually a manual, right? I'm not sure if you can see this. right? It's a manual version over here. You still have you can turn off your vehicle stability control or your traction control off for higher level of the sportiness that you want to get. Okay, something I really appreciate, the manual or mechanical handbrake. Okay, all right, so let's maybe go for a drive, then we will see how it looks like during the drive. So you have to depress on the clutch, okay, to get this car started. It's using a start stop button. There's no key. Right, so that's the startup of the vehicle. So this steering wheel is also the smallest steering wheel available from Toyota. Okay, so this car really it's not a fast car, okay, so it's really just meant to give you the confidence in the corner because of the low center of gravity. Okay, so it hugs the road, even though it's not using like a super wide tire. They're just using a Prius size tires, you know, but the engineering, okay, because of the double wishbone at the back, it's really perfect. Okay, in driving this car, I actually don't brake at the corners. Sorry, Victor. Okay, but that's generally my feeling about it. Okay, we're not gonna push this car too hard, seeing it's not our car. Yeah, and the seat, okay, really hugs your body. No tire squealing over there, even though I took it rather hard. And also, I believe this car will be a very gradual in giving you the what do you call that, signals that is going to break away. So it's not like a sudden, a very suitable car for any beginner driver. So let's push it a little bit. That's the famous top dip that it's okay, it's okay. Okay.
Technical issue.
Yeah, some technical issue. Okay, so there's a very famous torque dip, around 4,000 to 5,000 in this vehicle. So yeah, that has been a rather inherent complaint for many owners of this particular vehicle. Now the reason why I really like coupes and sedans for all this while is really because of the lower center of gravity. I'm not a SUV kind of person. If you want SUV, you go and ask Zach. He's the heavy duty machine kind of guy. Yeah, okay, he's just next to me anyway. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of background on the story of how they actually came up with the 86. Like I said earlier, okay, so the Toyota, they actually wanted to create a sports car, but after I think about 1 or 2 decades off from making any sports car at all. So then they actually got one of the guy from van division over to come and lead the whole project, which is kind of funny. And this guy is actually tasked, you know, to lead the project. And when that time they actually just did the share swap with Subaru, so they were thinking, you know, you want to build something that is fast. Everybody is building that, so there's really not much of a joy in creating something that is fast again. So that's where they decided to create something that what the enthusiasts are looking for, because there were a lot of enthusiasts at the time. They were still rebuilding their Silvias, their Supras and things like that. So what happened is that they want to build something that the enthusiasts want. So that's where they come up with something that is fun, and they were looking at it, and so they decided to create something that is enjoyable to drive. But to create something enjoyable to drive, they need something that has low center of gravity, good balance of the vehicle. Yeah, so they need something like a rotary engine or maybe even a box engine, because Subaru is one of the very loyal brand to the boxer engine. So they decided to engage Subaru for the engine. Okay, so mainly the car is actually engineering is a lot of them is by Subaru. Okay, but the product planning and then also also the, what you call that, the design wise is by Toyota themselves, right? So I also understand at that time, you know, they were not getting enough power out of the boxer engine that they want. So Toyota actually was struggling and to decide whether they want to share their latest injection technology to them, and eventually they did. That's why you have this boxer engine with a D4S injection type. Okay, I'm not going to go into too detail about that. You can read up online. There's a lot of information about that. Yeah. So now we have this vehicle. I like the shifting. Okay, because the shift. I won't say that this vehicle, you know, when I drove the Megane, it was a very nice feeling to the shift. It's very soft. It just feels good. But this vehicle is a bit more crude. You know, I guess partly because of the price factor is causing all this. This is a cheap, affordable sports car, so they're not gonna put in all the nice things inside, but something that is, like I said, functional. Okay, so you can of course do a lot of different modes here. You can turn off your vehicle stability control. You can turn off the traction control. I also know there's actually a secret mode. You can turn off almost everything. That's for crazy people who want to go and drift. All right. So we're not gonna do that because I don't have much experience with that, and I don't want to trash my friend's car. Okay, so we're just gonna drive a pretty decent pace. Okay, but it seems that the road here is a bit easier for us to speed up a little bit. So let's do that. Yeah. One thing driving a rear-wheel drive vehicle, you should always be careful when it comes to corner and acceleration. Okay, you should not hit the accelerator hard in the corner, because you will upset the balance of the vehicle. And remember, the power comes from the rear, so you don't want that to happen. Yeah. There's a torque dip here. We are around 4,000 RPM. Really, there's not much torque to that. And suddenly the power just comes in around 5, 6. Okay, so yeah, we need to chill out a bit here, seeing that the oil temperature is coming up. Does it feel very harsh on those bumps? No. Okay, so it's a good enough car for daily drive. At the same time, I say it's really practical if you don't have you know, some teenager kids. If you have young kids, it's totally alright. Okay, so this car is actually really easy to drive. Now why? Because look at that, you can see where your tires are at. Okay, so that makes it very easy for you to judge actually where is the front part of your vehicle, okay, so that you can avoid crashing into things and things like that. And over here they have a frameless rear view mirror. The view out of this rear view mirror is not the best, okay, but it's sufficient for this vehicle. Okay, so when you're engaged in any gear, there's also the gear number there to show you what are the gears that you are currently in. Okay, so as you can see, the vehicle you can rev up all the way up to about 7,000 plus. Okay, the peak power comes in around at 7,000. The torque comes in around 6,004 to 6,006 RPM. Okay. One thing I realized, you know, after driving this car for a while now, on the journey back to return the car, we are so used to the cars that the newer cars especially being designed in such a, you know, the seats are very tall, the body itself is actually a little bit taller than usual. So now when I climb into the 86 and been driving for a while, the rest of the world just looks much more taller because this vehicle sits very low, including the seats. So of course, I think in the long run, to get in and out of the vehicle needs a bit of getting used to, especially if you have just switched over from whatever other cars that you have been driving. Yep. So that's one more thing I realized about this car. Okay. Okay, so now back in the comfort of my car. Okay, let me just do a recap or summary of what is actually my feeling, especially after I drove the 86 just now. Okay, first thing, is the car worth buying or getting one? If you are somebody who is new to maybe sports car, I think I would recommend it. Why? Because it is not scary kind of fast. It's okay. Okay, wouldn't say it's like super fast, but from somebody who have no experience with sports car, even like for myself, moving on to this kind of car, I do recommend it. Okay, it's a good step up before you go for the next step, which is maybe something slightly faster. Okay, second thing is that I also feel immediate jump in terms of the height. Because all the cars, like I said, is all built with a higher seating position right nowadays. So so I feel the height is such a huge difference. Okay, and would I recommend the car? Yes, I will. Okay, I think it's a good buy, especially now you have in the Recon market, selling it at about 120 to 130k. It's not a huge, it's not to say something that is like beyond any ordinary person's capability to buy the vehicle. So if you want something abnormal, something fun to drive, not your usual car that you see on the road, something worth trying. Okay, but do note, however, that this car, because it's a two-door car, so your loan, you will need to fork out 30% down payment for the car. So that's the only one thing you need to take care of or take note of, okay, before you actually go and get the car. Yeah, so again, guys, if you like what we are doing here, what we are sharing here, what you're seeing here, subscribe, guys. I know some of you watch our videos, but we will appreciate it very much if you subscribe to us, okay, because that will help us a lot. And also, if you do like the topic we're sharing on, share with your friends and family. Okay, that will also be very helpful for all of us here. Okay, thank you very much. See you again next week. Let's listen to the exhaust note from a boxer engine. Okay, of course, this is a stock exhaust, so let's hear it.